A few years ago, Eden Hazard sat at the top of the world. He was the best player, save for maybe Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. Now, his career at the top level could possibly be coming to an end, a sad ending to a career that promised so much. What caused the Belgians fall so quickly from grace? And could it be through his own doing? We take a look at the rise and fall of the Belgian wizard. When Real Madrid comes calling, very few players have the mind to say no. So after 7 trophy-laden years at Chelsea, Hazard finally got his dream move to Madrid in a mega deal. From the onset, it seemed like a match made in heaven. 50,000 fans sat at the Santiago Bernabeu to watch the Belgians unveiling. After all, he was arguably the Premier League's very best, and he was to lead their club into greater success heights. Above all, they had high hopes that the new wearer of the number 7 shirt could return the club to glory after a disappointing 2018-19 season. His dream move, though, quickly turned into a nightmare. First, his Madrid debut was delayed by 2 months due to a hamstring injury on the eve of the 2019-20 La Liga season. Then came the doubts over his fitness, having reportedly arrived overweight for the club's preseason. Despite starting his Madrid career with an injury, he came back at some point and went for around 7 games without any issues. And despite not scoring, he was a joy to watch for Madrid fans. And they almost saw the Hazard Madrid pay an arm and a leg to sign. You could almost feel them nodding that their man will soon come good, but again, it was short-lived. And by the end of the first season in Madrid, Hazard had only managed 1 goal and 7 assists across 22 appearances. Not a good report for a £100 million forward. His second season was a replica of the first, and by that time, he had been reduced to just a squad player in what was Carlo Ancelotti's second spell in charge of the Madrid club, with the Italian preferring to use Vinicius Jr. in Hazard's favored left-wing attacking position. What stopped him from becoming the player Real Madrid thought they were getting? Maybe he was never prepared for the task that awaited him at Real Madrid, thinking it would have been as easy as it was at Chelsea. In his last seasons at Chelsea, Hazard played mostly as an inside left forward in mainly a front 3 attacking. He was the most dangerous in broken field play and was equally hard to defend against in tight spaces. At Real Madrid, Hazard found himself largely in his favorite position of left inside forward in a 4-3-3 formation. He was fitted into the same spot at Real Madrid, with far more talented players around him, including a lethal forward in the name of Karim Benzema and a midfield that oozed class with Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, and Casemiro back then. But injuries kept him out, and the lack of fitness never helped. And when he came back, there was Vinicius Jr. or Rodrigo or Marco Asensio, and he had to do with time on the bench. Another question begs, could he have brought this on himself, a circumstance of his own doing? Did Chelsea hand Madrid a ticking time bomb? Let's take a walk back to the Belgians' time at Chelsea and see if we could have some tangible evidence. According to his former teammate, John Obi Mikel, he said, Hazard was the most laziest player I ever trained with. He would stand there doing nothing, waiting for team practice to finish. You see, the only reason why he was allowed to get away with such an attitude, it was because of his pure talent. On match day, he would dress up and put in a man-of-the-match performance, so not even the coaches would bring up such an issue. Well, he was the best player at the club, but such attitude was not fair, or even appropriate as a professional. Another former Hazard teammate, Philippe Lewis, once revealed that Hazard at times would be playing video games in the dressing room, at times even up to 10 minutes before warm-up. Even when fitness coaches would tell everyone to get ready to move, Hazard would continue playing video games. Then, there is his poor diet. The winger has always had poor eating habits that he has struggled to regulate. During his time at Chelsea, he was always known to be a fan of fast food, burgers, pizzas, French fries, you name it. Taking care of his body really came second, when it should have been first. All professional athletes are required to follow some dietary restrictions to ensure their bodies are in good shape at all times, but clearly, Hazard never got the memo. When he arrived at Real Madrid 5 kilograms overweight, he admitted it, saying, "It's true, I'm not going to hide it, but when I'm on vacation, I'm on vacation." His suffering could be a culmination of the many years he never took care of his body to ensure he is in good enough shape to be a vessel for his immeasurable talent. The result was a gigantic list of injuries and flopping at the world's biggest club. The Belgian has had more than 18 different injuries in the past 4 seasons at Madrid, and most of them have been minor, manageable injuries. In comparison, he missed a total of of 21 games through injury during his 7 years at Chelsea. To be fair though, anyone who has played the beautiful game or even been a fan long enough knows that injuries can have a devastating psychological effect on a player, and they might end a career even though they are not major injuries. Hazard's struggles are reminiscent of the great Ronaldo Nazario or Alexander Pato and Alexis Sanchez. They are players whose main element of the game comes from their explosive speed, the same as Hazard. These are players with tremendous explosive ability who almost instantaneously fizzled out of stardom because for one reason or another they lost their ability and became tragically unrecognizable. This explosiveness is what defined Hazard, but he has failed to replicate it at Madrid, and usually the direct cause of this is the result of a serious injury which requires the player to take an incredibly long time off, and they fail to recover from, and when they ultimately come back, they are not the players they used to be. From the player many knew at Chelsea, where he managed to score 110 goals and 92 assists in 352 games, to scoring just 10 in 4 seasons, having missed tons of games. For now, he remains without a club after he was released by Real Madrid, and it's the saddest thing to ever imagine of. At Chelsea, though, he will be remembered for the countless unforgettable memories he gave the fans. The same cannot be said of Madrid fans, though, who never got to see the talent that lit the Premier League for 7 years. But the hope for Hazard to return to his mercurial best will live on. The dream that one day the former wing wizard will glide past the opposition defense with his signature cutbacks and shimmies of the foot is one that will never leave the minds of many football fans who have always wished him the best. For now, all we can do is hope. But you know what they say about hope? It's the hope that kills.